So three,
Okay.
two,
Two,
one,
one.
go. Hello and welcome to Bendy, a podcast about being flexible in all of the ways that means. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andy Young, and I'm one of your jubilant, beleaguered hosts. Joining me, as always, is our other jubilant and beleaguered host, Beth Martin. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
So I'm a mess.
What a start,
What
guys,
a start,
right?
right? Not for like necessarily like bad reasons or
Uh-huh.
anything, but I was telling you right before we hopped on, I joined, I don't know if you guys have like parent teacher associations.
We do. I think we have a different name, but I'm going to check that while you're talking.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so we call it the PTA, and like
I
the
think it is that.
PTA is usually like it's got this stigma to it where it's full of like parents that, and I'm not saying that's my PTA by any means, but
Hmm.
basically it's like parents that are bossy and like know-it-alls and they make everything difficult and but they also put on, events and like they support the school in
Yeah.
financial ways and also by providing like other, types of learning and like fun activities. So we put on what we called the or the Monster Mash. We can't call it a fall festival. We can't call it Halloween because we want to be as inclusive as possible.
Hmm.
And I don't know how inclusive Monster Mash is, but that's what we did. And some
I
people can tell me whether or not they
I
agree with that.
I really struggle to see how people could disagree with fall festival, but then who the fuck knows? Like people will just find things to be angry about.
Yeah, that's basically what it is
Yeah.
everyone finds fault with, any decision that anyone makes on anything.
Hmm.
So we threw this event for, it was about 600 people that showed up at the school on Saturday.
So
We
many.
had 23 rides or
Hmm.
activities. We had llamas. We had three
Hmm.
llamas that you could take pictures with. We had a petting zoo. We had caricature drawings. We had face painters. We had like all the, carnival games that you can play.
Hmm.
We had like 500 pounds of candy and food trucks. So like pizza and, snow cones and churros and all that kind of stuff and hula hoop contests and a haunted trail. And it was like, I haven't, like, I used to be an event planner in a former life for like a decade, no, more than a decade. Most of my
Hmm.
career, honestly, has been events. And so this was like the first one that I've thrown in a really long time. And it's so much fucking work, dude. And
Yeah.
like the level of gratitude is so minimal, which I know, and I don't care. I don't need a thank you, but uh the
Eh,
complaining is
yeah.
also like if I had a gratitude to counterbalance the complaint, that would be better than what we're
Yes.
getting. And
I
it was so
think,
successful and everyone had a great time.
yeah.
But
And
we shouldn't be fighting about hay bales.
I think that like I think so yeah, absolutely. I think that like we do have PTAs and I think that's like symptomatic of like, schools not having proper level of support that we need to have PTA groups and things like that. But
That's exactly
I
what it is.
I absolutely understand, see the value of it and yeah, I can't like have obviously organized some things as well. And I think the frustrating thing about it is that people oftentimes will go, oh, everything went really smoothly. And you're like, yeah, you know why it went so fucking smoothly? Because I worked
Uh-huh.
my fucking ass off. But
Uh-huh.
nobody really sees that or really gives that much of a shit about it.
No.
So yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
And
And I felt bad because I had to like involve my like I had to involve my husband
mhm.
and be like, "Oh, like I have to go do this. I need you to go and pick up like two giant lighting systems and four generators that require a trailer. They're so big. We
Yeah.
can't pick them up. You gotta."
Oh, did he have to take
So,
4 separate trips?
um, yeah, basically.
Wow.
and
Wow.
then take them back too and refill them with gas. And I was like, "Did you submit a receipt?" And he's like, "No, it's a donation." I'm like, "I'm so sorry."
He rocks.
Eh. Yeah.
But that's
So
a lot.
that's my crack.
Yeah, fun.
How about you? I know, right? You're like
I,
better you than me.
yeah, and like I'll just tell you about my fucking lazy ass weekend. I
Please do.
went to a gig for the first time in ages. Essentially, somebody in my sort of yoga community and my local yoga community, um, he was having an album launch, and
Fun.
it was just really great. And like I
What
was
kind of what kind of an album?
electronic, but like he's got a beautiful voice, really fantastic voice, and he was kind of like so it's a lot of electronic stuff, but it's him really kind of like using his instrument extremely well too, like really hitting those high notes, and it was really beautiful stuff. And it was essentially just him on stage with a microphone, a laptop, and a device that I'm not too sure. I don't know the terminology for this stuff, but like like that allows you to like queue up certain samples and blah blah
Yep.
blah.
Yep.
Um,
The equipment has changed so much
yeah.
from when I was like two
It,
turntables.
well, absolutely, and like, but it was just fantastic to hear. It was great being there. There was like and it was also well, actually, I'll talk about the different artists. There was a few different artists beforehand. There was like a folky artist on first who was fantastic, and then the artist sort of like the second artist on supporting artist just came on. He was like, I'm just going to do some ambient dance sort of stuff. Like he was fairly vague about it, but he had like a 100-year-old harmonium, which was like a
Oh, I
yeah,
know what a harmonium
right.
is.
So I didn't really,
Yeah.
and he had like three of these different sort of sample box type things. Again, forgive me for the lack of terminology, and a separate table with a laptop on it, and he was
Mhm.
just playing that and doing things with the different sort of these different boxes, and it was just fascinating to watch. It really was. And it was some great tunes. It was a really it was just nice to be out. I haven't really been out at a gig in a while now, and I definitely like going. Like I had no I because my sister picked me up. She was going too, and she was like, "Do you get your ticket okay?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, do I need a ticket for this?" And then I was like, "Oh, I just assumed I could buy one on the door." Fortunately, I could. I got in there. It was bring your own alcohol as well, which I also didn't know about. So I was completely clueless about anything that was going on. Um, but it was just, I say, it's nice getting to a place. I just, I love music. I like hearing new stuff. So it was just a nice experience to kind of be there and hear a load of kind of different new stuff. Um, but also the venue was my old improv stomping grounds, which was
Whoa.
nice. It is way fancier now. The stage is in much better shape. They've clearly bought some new staging and things like that. So it was nice to be in there again because it has been a couple of years maybe now. So yeah, so that was nice. Um, also, so like it has that experience in general has really made me interested in like learning more about that side of things. I think I mentioned to you before, about wanting to learn a bit more about maybe the production side of things, I guess, but also like how to mix things like in a kind of modern area without in the modern era rather without having a set of decks basically. And I've had some interesting conversations with friends about that recently. Um, so
I
it's
have I have dabbled. Have I told you this?
mm,
So I have a program, it's called FL Studio. I feel like we talked about
maybe we
this.
have, but that
And
doesn't.
like I basically watched YouTube videos and it's kind of I guess like the annoying thing is it's not much I guess I'm trying to like rationalize it in my brain. Like you can buy like packages, like
Yeah,
you buy the software and it's like, 200 and something, whatever. And
yeah,
of course I was like, what if I just want to be a professional, music producer? Ha ha.
sure,
Never say never to anything, right?
exactly.
So I got the pro version. And then you can buy like like different like sample packs that have different sounds and like, it comes with
Yeah,
some things but not all things. And so like watching whatever YouTube video, like I didn't have the right sample pack, so I would buy the sample pack and that would be another like 15 or 20 bucks.
yeah,
And I was so annoyed. I'm just like, give me all the things, right? Like
yeah,
it's like when you don't have the font and you have to spend 99 cents to buy the font.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but I would go to the record store otherwise, right?
Yeah, and probably
And buy a
like
record.
I'd say that I guess the reason why they do that is if they did include all that stuff, they'd be charging like what couple of $1,000 for it, which would
Yeah.
put people off. And I guess there are people who, for a package like that makes sense. But yeah, I think I can understand why. I
Yeah.
My friend has like pushed me in the right direction for a few different things. I'm going to look in. I think the one I downloaded was Record Box as a way to start
Hmm.
mixing stuff, but I'm going to speak to her more in more detail about the production side of things. I just want to start dabbling in it a wee bit and see whether it's for me because like it's something like and I think I've expressed on the podcast before. I have an interest to get involved in more musical side of things, and
Yeah.
with that in mind, I have another. Sort of music update. So I think I've told you about this before. I have a
What?
friend. I had talked about. I know I've told you about this aspect of it, but I have talked about joining a ukulele group in Carrickfergus,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and they meet. Unfortunately, they meet in the same night as the choir meets. Um, and I haven't been able to. So I mentioned this to my friend who plays bass and things like that, and he's got a few different instruments and stuff, and he goes, "Oh, I've got loads of ukuleles. Do you want one?" I'm like, sure, thanks, man. That'll be awesome. That'll be great. And he goes, I've got two options for you. I've got this kind of brown one, or I've got this pink sparkly one. Which one would you like? And I'm like, ask a silly question. Give me the pink sparkly one. So,
Do you have it?
yeah, I do.
Let me see. Oh, it's so great.
Right? So I got pink
Wait, hold it
sparkly
up
here.
again. Oh man.
See
It
the
is like
sparkles?
it's really professionally done.
It is a really nice job and it's in tune, but unfortunately I can't play shit. But I really appreciate him bringing it down for me. I'm going to start making an effort to get into this.
Hmm.
Just as like a stepping stone, like I need more things on my plate, but why
You
not?
know, I know you're like obsessed with Steve Martin and I'm quickly getting on that
Yeah,
bandwagon. I told you I was watching Only Murders in the Building
yeah, it's a good show.
and he plays it's like a mini accordion thing. I can't remember. I think it starts with a
Oh
C. You
yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
And it's like he plays that. He plays the banjo. He's
Yeah,
also Steve Martin and like does that. And that's a whole thing, right? And he's a dad. And it's
yeah.
like he said something in the show along the lines of like, to the youth people,
Hmm.
to which of I think of us as being youthful.
100%.
Uh-huh. But like, don't just focus on like be interested in life,
Yes,
be creative, do new
it's
things,
true.
try new things. Don't just like, basically what I wish they had. It's like um people like fans just like outside their building that they're living in, like obsessed and just waiting and wanting answers and like waiting for them, wanting to say hi, and they're like super fans and they
Yeah,
actually end up inviting them up to like help them solve this crime and everything. But he's like, yeah, like get off the podcast, people, and like find a hobby.
yeah, absolutely.
Which I'm
Yeah,
saying, not saying that to our listeners.
no,
Only listen to our
yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
Do not have
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
hobbies.
yeah, exactly. All right, or better yet, listen to the podcast while you're doing your new hobby. How about that?
Yeah, there you
Combine
go.
the
Shut
two.
up, Andy.
All right.
That's so cool.
So yeah. So that's the crack with me this week. Yeah, I think that's all I have for the crack. Do you have any what's occurring?
I don't, but I got something in the mail from you, and we're
Ooh,
talking
yes,
about
we're yeah.
birthdays.
Okay,
So
I've
do
got
you
a
want me to
quick
oh,
one before we
okay.
get there.
Okay.
Which was just a friend of mine reached out. He mentioned it was nice hearing me discover like tequila in Mexico and how it has like, it's like whiskey in our country, there's people who do certain blends, they age it for a long time. And like what a revelation it was for him. But he discovered this when he was 21, so a long time ago. But it was just nice to hear other people come to that conclusion because it just does feel like something. I don't know. Maybe it's a UK thing, but I just had no idea that I thought tequila was just, you Jose Cuervo,
Jose Cuervo.
whatever, that sort of
Yep.
trash. Or we have
Cabo
other stuff,
Wabo.
yeah, which is just shit.
Sammy
Um,
Hagar, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder are there people who oh yeah, Sammy Hagar. I wonder are there people who think the same thing about whiskey in different countries as well, that think it's just, cheap trash that gets you fucked up. Don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, like Jack Daniels or Evan
Yeah,
Williams.
exactly.
I mean, those are
Or
the American ones.
I think we have ones like that. I mean, Jameson's has a pretty bad reputation, but Jameson's isn't bad.
No,
I
it's
don't
really
think.
good. It's
I
so
think.
good with the Guinness.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Like Guinness with the Jameson's back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay. But anyway, so yeah, that's all I have for what's occurring. So okay, so shall we get into our topic for this
Okay,
week?
wait, we can.
Hmm.
So Mike just finished the Powers
Oh, he
whiskey
did?
that you brought.
Uh-huh.
And he actually peeled because he makes we get vanilla beans when we go to Maria.
Uh-huh.
So he like infuses whiskey with vanilla beans. So you get like vanilla bourbon. It's really good. So he like peels the labels off, but he kept the Powers label. He
He
peeled it
did.
off and he stuck it on the fridge because
I
it
love it.
says like drinking age is 18,
Yeah,
which in America it's
I
21.
know.
So yeah,
So true.
we thought that was we got a turtle.
But in your house, it's 18 now.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. Um, yeah, that's great. So yeah, we're looking at this week's topic. I've titled it "Happy Birthday to You!"
Mhm.
Exclamation mark. Does that sound good?
Sounds
So
great.
I just thought it was interesting because Beth had her birthday recently, and I haven't really asked her this, but like I haven't really asked how she feels about birthdays generally. And it occurred to me that it's a really interesting topic because I know some people who hate them for very good reasons, or some people who just hate them because, there's so much pressure and things like that. But also people who absolutely love them, probably to an extreme degree sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I thought it would be an interesting one to chat about. So yeah, to kick things off, I sent Beth two presents. One of them hasn't arrived. The one, and I've checked, the one I definitely wanted to arrive has arrived, which is great
Okay.
news.
Okay.
So what we'll just do is when we get Beth to open her present,
Okay, we're
do you
gonna
have it there?
unbox. I
Okay,
do.
so
It's
what we'll
behind my
do
computer.
is as Beth's opening it, I'll just tell you what it looks like and what's happening here. Beth, do you have it there? Can you
I
show the
do.
camera? Can you show the
It's right
camera?
here. Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
So
so
it's
it is
taped on the
essentially like a
ends.
rolled up piece of paper. It looks,
Yeah.
so Beth's just going to open that up and she's
Right
unrolling
here.
it. She's going to
I'm
look
unrolling
at
it.
what it
Look.
is.
You're such a dick. What am I gonna do with this? What am
Frame
I
it,
supposed to do with this?
frame it, of course.
You're such... Okay. So it's actually like a canvas
Is it in canvas?
printing. It's on
I
canvas.
really, as you can, okay, let me just tell everybody what it is. It's a tiny poster for the movie Wolves.
It's the
Um,
tiniest poster in the world.
it's a tiny, I can't believe, like, 'cause I really struggled because I was like, oh shit, I need to get Beth some Wolves merchandise. And it was like, nobody was doing it apart from this one place in the UK. And it's like, God damn it, okay.
It's such a
Um,
bad movie. Okay, so do we backstory this at all?
we talked about on
It's
the
so
episode that we did when I was
bad.
with you, I had it in my What's Bringing Me Joy, and you called me an asshole then too.
God
So
damn it. I have to
I
look at this now.
know. So what will you do with it? Do you think you'll frame
I
it
will.
or okay, please.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I mean,
Um
I framed the turkey photo. Of course, I'm going to
oh
frame
yeah, okay,
that.
that turkey photo is incredible.
The
Okay.
turkey photo that went over. I took our like wedding family photo away and I put up the turkey picture
Okay, so
instead.
let's take these one at a time. So the first thing is we talked about Wolves briefly. Basically, we tried to watch it whenever I was over staying with Beth, and like Beth
Yes,
hated it,
we
and
sat
then
through the whole thing.
we
We
started
sat
to
through the
set
whole
through the whole
thing,
thing. I feel
and
like it started okay, and then like it quickly went to shit. Um, but Beth
and
is like,
I was a little vocal. I know.
yeah, Beth is like, if it really cracked me up, so I kept bringing it up every now and again. Like, Beth, I found this incredible movie,
I'd be like,
etc.,
"Oh, what is
etc. Yeah,
it?" It's
baiting
called
her in,
Wolves. I'm like,
and
"Fuck you."
then getting hit with something. So it really made me laugh. So I wanted to keep continuing on with that. It isn't that great a movie. It's on Apple. If anybody's
Apple.
curious, it's got Brad Pitt and George Clooney in it. It's you know. an interesting concept initially, and I think the first like 10, 15 minutes I was like, okay, this is quite cool, and then it becomes quite broad and pretty dumb.
It's just the
And
same joke over and over and
yeah,
over.
it is. And it was just like
And then you
this is
just
kind of a
stop
waste of time.
caring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even
Um
like either of them. Like they can both kill each other. Don't give a shit.
see how much she dislikes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that really made me
I'm
crack
like
up.
I'm like sweating. I'm so like irritated.
So the other thing we should talk about, because we did mention it briefly, I think on the one of the episodes when I was over staying with you, was the turkey photo.
Mhm.
Whenever we were in, I don't think we've talked about it on podcast, have we?
I don't think we have. Okay,
No.
so I took Andy to this
Mm.
we didn't yeah, it's like
We
a
talked
pioneer
about the
museum.
museum, Pioneer
We talked
Museum. We
about the
talked about it a
museum.
little
So
bit. Yeah.
basically the town I live in was like a turkey production capital.
Hmm.
And so they had like turkey like outfits and there was a turkey festival every year. And then they would make one of the turkeys the like king turkey, like literally. And so there's this like photo probably from like the 1950s of this like beautiful starlet in a bathing suit and she's holding like an old camera and she's taking a photo of a turkey who's wearing like a giant bow tie and a little king hat.
Yeah.
It's black and white. I may have to actually like put it on.
It's so incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It really
It
is
was
fantastic.
$10 and Mike was like, "Do you like this?" And I was like, "Oh my God, like yes."
It's so
So
incredible.
much like pink ukuleles, like just things that are a little bit like different
I hear you.
in just the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking outsider, weird outsider art shit. I love it.
And now people are going to come over to my house and be like, "Wow, I did you do you like the movie Wolves?" And I'm gonna have to be like, "No, I hate it. My stupid friend Andy."
Amazing. That's okay. That's the gift that keeps giving. That's the one I'm glad. The other one you can just open, and it's kind of
Okay.
on theme with. I can let you know it's kind of on theme with what you've been loving recently. That was the one I really wanted you to open on pod. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you for that
you're
for
so
my birthday
welcome.
present.
Yeah, and you'd love it. Okay. So yeah, well, let's get onto our topic properly. So we're talking about birthdays. I mean, based on what I was saying there earlier, about birthdays, what is your general feeling about your own birthdays, about birthdays generally?
I think I have very complicated feelings about
Okay.
birthdays. Um, I think, it changes as you get older. Like as a
Hmm.
kid, it was pretty cool, I think, generally. Can you hear my bird?
No?
Okay, good. Um, I can. I love her, but she gets mad when I'm
Frankie.
talking, not to her, right? So like I like them when there are like children involved.
Yeah.
I think more so than when it's like an adult having a birthday. Uh, like I find myself getting irritated when there's an adult that's like, "Oh, my birthday this year, I want, la, la, I want to, and they like, eh, maybe there's a certain age at which you just like don't need everyone to celebrate the day you were born.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, like, close family or whatever, but like, I get irritated when it's like a whole thing. It's a production. People that are
Yes.
like, it's my birthday month, and I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Yes.
Like, are you kidding me? I'm having to like worship you. I mean, obviously, it's my birthday was 12 days ago. We're still talking about
It's true. But
it.
that's just been a timeline up thing more than anything
That's your
else.
fault.
Yeah, it's my
It's
fault. Yeah.
true. It's true. But like I don't typically like
Yeah.
celebrating. I do it for my children, honestly.
Yes.
Um, and but like I love celebrating other people. I will say like I do like celebrating other people's birthday more than my own.
Yeah.
And yeah, like
I
what do you think?
I mean, my feelings I mean, like you know, broadly similar to yourself. Like I definitely enjoy them more growing up. But I've always been quite frustrated whenever people kind of get angry with you about forgetting their birthday. It's like it's not the sort of thing I remember. Like and I know people who like have systems for that, but I'm just like it's not something I can take on. Like, and I also, because I know so many bloody people, it's like I don't really need to be remembering everybody's birthday and then like thinking about buying them gifts or anything like that. I just can't take that on. Sorry. I love yous all, but it's just not something that's gonna, I can't make space for it really.
Yeah.
And it's the same way I feel about my birthday though as well. Like if people forget my birthday, some people are really apologetic, and I'm like, don't even give it a second thought. Like I don't care. Like, and I think my feelings on an adult birthday are if it means a lot to you, you're the one who has to spread the word. You're the one who has to, be like, I'm having this thing, but also be sure to let people know that it's friggin' optional. Like, it's not like whenever it's like you have to come as my birthday. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just another day. So and it's always been that way for me. Whereas like sometimes I would have a party for my birthday and like as an adult, but I have that because I like the party.
Getting
I like having
getting
getting
people
people
together.
together. You know that I
Yeah.
do. Like it's something that is important to me, and it's a good excuse to. It's the same way that like I like the run up to Christmas because I can organize stuff and I can get people together more so than the day itself and all the kind of that sort of crap.
Hmm.
So like I like that aspect to it. Like I always think, it's good to have an excuse to like get your people together. But like I think that, I uh, I don't really care. As an adult, I don't really care that much, and I have never really cared that much. I- But like, conversely to that, I have absolutely had times when I've like done nothing and felt deeply depressed about it. But then,
Yeah.
that's my brain just generally. So it's
Yeah.
not surprising.
Yeah. And I was thinking like, you know, what what were some of my best birthdays and some of my worst birthdays?
Hmm.
Like what were some of your best birthdays where you actually did like as a kid or like as an adult, like, wow, that was really fun and like I really am glad that I celebrated.
That's a good question. I really don't know. I'd struggle to really think about that. I remember having like a 30th birthday in Australia and like I started the day by myself and I went out and I had a nice breakfast and I read my book, which was fantastic. But then I ended up like going out drinking with some friends and it was really lovely. Um, but like it's tough for me to really think about the special birthdays that particularly jump to mind. Like I can think of like, some Christmas times that were special and some New Year's that were special, but yeah, for whatever reason, birthdays aren't just something that like comes back to me in a major way. Like I remember some of the big ones, but they weren't always like my 40th was is a memory for me, but not particularly a positive one. I had a big party, but it was more of a way to deal with the big breakup that I'd just had. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Rather than
Hmm.
something that I really wanted to do.
Yeah, I like Hallmark birthdays, like not like the 21 in
Yes.
America is a big one.
Yes, it is
18 is
here
a big
too.
one.
Yep.
Six, okay. So okay. So it's also like new things are getting created,
Yeah.
like the golden birthday, like
Yeah.
whatever. That didn't exist until do you guys have Hallmark?
I think we do, but I certainly know
So it's like a
what you're
greeting,
talking about.
yeah, it's a greeting card company that basically realized that they could make a ton of money on decorations and greeting cards if they just like really amped up this like need to have holidays. So you'll hear the term like Hallmark holiday,
Yeah.
and that's because, we didn't really celebrate Valentine's Day like we do like
Yes.
40 years ago kind of thing. And like Mike took her to Home Depot because she wanted to see the skeletons like 3 weeks ago, and he's like, they're already gone. Christmas stuff is already up, right? It's not even
Crazy.
Halloween yet. So
Yeah.
it's like the our economy is
It, it
is
it's
built
built.
on,
What's the next thing? What's the next thing?
yep,
What's the next thing?
yep.
Yeah.
And like birthdays, I think, are becoming that. And it's like social media too, I think feeds into that. So you'll see people and it's like it's their birthday month and it's their birthday trip and they expect their friends to like shell out all this money so they can go to their birthday trip at Coachella or whatever.
Oh,
And I'm
hmm.
just like, right? Um, and so that's a whole like I think the expectation for you know, making it look, I'm air quoting, like look like an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, takes away from what it's really about, which is like, yeah, I lived another year.
Which is all it is, really. And I mean,
Yeah.
talking about it there, it's like, I understand the need to feel special, right? I mean, everybody needs that sometimes. And I suppose it's a good way to be like, oh, I need to feel special. This is my big day. You know what I mean? And like, people making a fuss out of you. But I think it's maybe good to be clear in those expectations as well, because otherwise it can quickly end in like disappointment, you know? Like, I still have a clear memory of being in a Starbucks. I think this is when I was here a few years, or when I was over there, sorry, a few years ago. And I was just like getting some breakfast or whatever, and this lady came in and she was like, "It's my birthday. I want the free croissant, basically." And she made a whole fucking scene about it because she didn't get exactly the one that she wanted, and like she like walked out, came back in, and said, "I don't really want this one. I want that one," and all this sort of thing. And I'm like, "Ugh, this
I'm not,
sucks."
yes. I know someone that actually spends her entire birthday running around town getting all the free things because it's their birthday.
That blows.
It's a choice.
It is a choice.
It's a choice. Um, yeah, so I think birthdays are just like generally commercial. I also think I started thinking about like I know you went and saw the movie Substance, which I
Yep.
haven't yet seen, but I know the premise is about aging and like,
Hmm.
people not wanting to age and that you know, so I think part of part of birthdays for, people that are 40 and older, it's like, oh no, I'm another year older or whatever. And like it's kind of like it becomes less exciting and more of like a reminder of mortality,
Yeah. Yeah.
which like I'm cool with, honestly. I want to remember those things. I don't want to like, put my head in the sand and like
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
Botox in my forehead. Not to say I never will, but you know,
But you're
knowing
right.
my body, I'll have like the opposite reaction.
Just end
And
up
it'll
like
just like, yeah.
multiple wrinkles,
Mhm.
like a freaking Dick Tracy character.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yes, exactly.
so, but I think, I totally get that, and I think you're right, but it is very much like a reaction to everything that media tells them and everything that, and it is exactly like the substance where it's like, people are terrified of getting old or whatever because God, I don't know. The message and that's all the messaging says. That's all the freaking certainly when it comes to health and beauty stuff, like it's this,
Yeah.
such a fundamental part of the marketing message. Like it's horrible.
Yeah.
Um,
It's funny because like occasionally they have these like you can get like a makeup box or like and every month you get like samples of like
mhm,
mascara or like eye makeup and all I get now is like anti-aging products for my skin. And I'm like,
mhm.
I don't use that shit, man. I use just like soap and
Yep,
water.
yep.
Like it's gonna happen, right? Gravity is just like gravity has a pull
So
and it's
true.
gonna happen. So Um, but it's just
But
interesting because like open it, I'm like, I'm never gonna use this. And I
yeah,
feel bad about myself.
yes, exactly.
I'm
It's
gonna
like
tell you that
fucking
I'm 25 and see what I get. Probably get nail
yeah,
polish.
yeah. It's true. Yeah, do that. Um, hey. But I still remember that Andy got carded just a few weeks ago.
Yes, this is true. Let us remember.
Oh yeah. Let's never forget,
Let
okay?
us pray it happens again
That's the anniversary.
soon.
That's the anniversary we're going to be celebrating going forwards.
Yeah. You know what I
Um,
do you know what I do
hmm
love about birthdays though?
uh-huh.
Like, when you're in a restaurant and you don't know the people, but like you hear like and then like their party singing happy birthday. That is my jam.
I
I don't
hear you.
know anybody at there, but I like sing happy birthday to this random stranger as loud as I possibly can. And I always feel really good about it.
You know what I love doing in those, and maybe this is just me,
Do you cha
absolutely.
cha cha?
No, 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 no. I do whenever it's just when silent, everybody's finished this clapping, do and many more. I love it.
Of course you do.
Of course I do, naturally. Um, so I didn't get to ask you because I went on a friggin' tangent, but do you have
I
any
love it.
birthday parties or any birthday days that hold a special memory for you?
I thought about it. Yeah, I think I've talked about it before. I can't remember if I've talked about it on pod or not, but I had a 10-10-10 birthday.
Ooh,
So
nice.
my yeah, and now I'm giving everyone well, I was born, I'm not gonna tell you the year I was born, but
Hmm.
I was born on the 10th day of the 10th month. And so
Hmm.
on 10-10-10, it was my birthday. And so
Hell yeah.
I was in San Francisco for that with all of our Burning Man friends, and that was like epically fun. That was
Yeah.
super fun. My 30th birthday, Mike bought me a flight, like learn to fly a plane kind of thing.
Nice.
And that was super cool. Um, but really what I like this year, everyone had school and work, and like we went to my like one of my favorite, not my favorite restaurant, but one of my other favorite restaurants.
Yeah.
And it was just simple and nice.
Yeah.
And the kids like I asked the kids, I'm like, what do you guys like about birthdays? And Harper's I like she could tell I was interviewing her for the podcast, I think. She was like, is this for the podcast? And I was like, yeah. But just like I don't talk like, like this is for, public consumption. Like, what do you
Sure.
think? Because she was like, it's all about being with my family and being together. And she's like, I really like the cake.
Yeah.
And like the candles and that whole thing where you light the candles and she gets to hold the plate now and like walk it out and
Yeah.
sing and put the plate in front of the person. And, like I like that. I like that. The simplicity of like, we're all gonna have a sweetie together, right? And there's gonna be some fire.
I hear you. I mean, like, I totally get loving cake. I mean, cake rules. So, like, I'm
It
right there with her,
totally,
you know.
totally. So I had creme brulee for my cake
Ooh,
this year.
nice. Good choice. Birthday creme brulee.
Yeah,
Let's make that a thing.
I know.
Uh, uh,
What about you?
like I said, I don't I have been I kind of remember I was at my 20 must be my 21st, like having a bit of a like because like a lot of my big birthdays have been I haven't been like my 18th, for example, happened when I was doing my Amtrak traveling around. No, wait, that's not right. That must be my 20th. That must have been. What was my 18th? Who knows? But
When
like
can you vote? When can you vote?
18, I think, in this country. I'm
So you can
pretty
smoke,
sure.
drink, and vote when you're 18.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah, you can smoke from 16, or at least you
Oh,
used to be able to. Yeah.
wow. Wow.
Um,
Go
but like,
big tobacco.
yeah, 18 to vote. I think smoking's maybe moved up, but I was 16 for a while there. The law was changed. Oh, so it was until 2007. It was 16. So, but as a non-smoker, I don't pay attention to those things, I guess.
Really?
Um, yeah.
I tried. I was really bad at it.
Oh yeah, I think I told you before, I had like a pretentious phase in whenever I was in University of North Carolina where I was smoking menthols and I was like, these fucking suck. So yeah, I have been given cigarettes a couple of different times when I've been really drunk and I can never even finish one. I'm just like, this is awful. No, thank you. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank God,
My
honestly.
party trick, have I told you this?
Mm-mm.
I get like everyone's cigarettes and I light them all and then I hand them out.
Oh, okay, nice. I was gonna
So
say,
gross.
well,
No. And then I smoke them all. No.
yeah.
But I just yeah. Mike smoked for well, he was smoking when we started dating. And he has asthma because he's like really smart.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, God, that doesn't stop a lot of
Yeah.
people who are smokers. One of my friends started smoking. This is the dumbest shit ever. Started smoking because he bet somebody that he could smoke for a month and come off them, and he then ended up smoking for 20 years. Yeah, right,
That's like an award-winning idea.
right. I
Wow.
remember that happening at the time and me being like, this is a fucking terrible idea, dude. This is really terrible. He's like, no, I can do it. I've got willpower. And I'm like, I don't know, because he was somebody who was already, I was aware he had a bit of an addictive personality and he like liked to drink. And I was like, this is a recipe for disaster. And yeah, then, and here we are. I think he's giving up
There's
now, ish.
there's enough science behind to know that
Just a
there's a
fucking.
recipe in those little cancer sticks
Well,
to keep you
and
hooked.
so not only did he get a smoking habit, he lost the bet. It's
Right?
like fucking wild. But anyway, so yeah, that was great fun. Um, the other
How do
thing,
you
uh,
can I ask like a cultural question?
yeah,
Like Irish birthdays,
sure.
are they different than American birthdays?
I
Like,
don't
do you
think
wear funny
so.
hats?
No, like I guess as a kid we would have maybe played party games and stuff, but I think you guys would have done that, musical chairs, things like
Yeah.
that, pass the
Yeah.
parcel.
What's a pass the
Uh,
parcel? No, I don't
So,
know what that is.
Pass the Parcel is a game where you have, so this is just extra work for the fucking parents. They have a gift of some kind and they wrap it like 10, 12 times.
Oh, mhm.
You pass it to music, music stops, one person unwraps it until finally the person who does the last unwrapping gets the gift. So yeah, things like that.
That's just like a way to keep the kids occupied and
yes,
quiet.
100%. Um, so yeah,
Not
I
like beating the shit out of a piñata.
no. No, God, yeah, that's something I wish we had over here. It's that, and it was amazing, so much fun. But like I think, and I'd say this isn't broadly different from the US. Most of the times, once you hit drinking age, it becomes a drinking based, affair. Um, so yeah, I don't think so. Like I say, I've celebrated American friends' birthday parties, a couple of different times, and it's much the same. Not any major difference. That was one of the other things, because was like the connection of alcohol to birthdays. Um, so it's one of the things that always gets me in particular, and I wonder if this is the same for you guys, which is that like, there's so much like, oh, be careful with alcohol, blah, 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 liver cancer, yada, yada, yada. But then you go to the greeting card aisle and you see birthday cards and they're like, oh, it's Prosecco o'clock or
Yeah.
it's beer time. Dad loves beers, blah, blah, blah. Like so
Yeah,
many of the cards, I'd say like 50% are alcohol related. And it's like,
they
this
are.
is fun. It's the same there.
Yeah, like little
Fuck.
old ladies, and it's like, it's wine
Yes.
time. Like I don't know all
Or
these little
beer
catchphrases
goggle
for
guy, like all
hmm
sorts of shit. Like it's just yeah, just alcohol themed whatever. Like it's just so much of it.
Yeah. And I'm sure like if I was sober, I would notice those things even more,
Yeah,
because it is like such a part of our culture. And yeah, like people like it's different when you have kids because, those hangovers are rough
yeah,
for many reasons. But like it is all about, yeah, meet somewhere and just get completely like wasted
yeah, yeah. And I,
and
I
don't like, yeah, don't
blackout
remember.
drunk. Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah. It's certainly like that would have been somewhat similar. It's interesting like to look back on that because it has been extremely rare that I get very, very drunk, like for a long, long time. It's not, you know what it normally is? It's whenever I have friends who like have kids and they get a few days away from them and they just go
Yes.
nuts and
And
I
they're
just
like,
get
yes.
dragged into the insanity and I'm like, no. So yeah, those are the only times it really happens these days. But oh God, whenever it does happen, the next few days are so awful. I'm like, why did I do this?
Yeah. No, it's like all those like days that you would wake up and you're like, God, I'm not hungover. Like, I feel like your body like remembers
Yes.
and like holds on to those days, those little cards of like, oh yeah, no, you're gonna pay that. This one's gonna get paid forward
Yeah,
when you're
absolutely.
older, right?
Yeah, like I've got a friend who's like, I never get hangovers, and I'm like, you're gonna pay for that one day, dude.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
going
Yep.
to pay.
I remember someone like one of my friends, he turned because he's like a year older than me, and he turned 30, and he's like, it's the craziest thing. Like, I don't get hangovers anymore. You turn 30, you don't get hangovers. And I was like, that's so cool. And like, not true.
No.
Not a fact. Not true at all.
It's like some coping mechanisms right there. It's like,
I
yeah,
know.
keep
I know.
drinking.
I know.
Um, but yeah, it is. It's always like so funny how those things. And I suppose like we talked earlier about like the greeting cards, sort of one holiday going into the other. I guess they are hand in hand with you know alcohol companies and things like that as well because they're all kind of feeding each other in that way.
Yeah. Or owned by the same person
It's just
once you
the
like,
giant fucking conglomerate.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So did you guys have like McDonald's birthday parties? Was that a
Oh
thing?
yeah, we
Do you
did.
remember? Like, I totally remember like going, and maybe it was like a Kentucky thing. Like, this was, we didn't have roller rinks or anything, but
Hmm.
like going and you would get like all the French fries and little hats and everything. And it was like such a big deal. And everyone would sing happy birthday. And like that was the thing. And it's not anymore. Like, when was the
Yeah,
last time someone was like, oh yeah, we're going to McDonald's for our kid's birthday? Like they lost out on that.
that's true. Like I think they do still do them to an extent, but I don't think quite as much. This is actually a great way for me to tell you about something in the UK because I never had a McDonald's one, but there was a chain over here called Wimpy,
Wimpy.
and apparently
Like
like it was
wimp
founded in the US, bizarrely.
like
So
Wimpies?
WIMPS no WIMPY. I don't know if it was Wimpy's.
Wimpies.
It's a good question, but. I remember having a birthday party in there as a kid. Who knows what age I was, but like it was because there was a time when McDonald's didn't, because of the situation in this country, many chains did not really have much of a footprint here for many years. And because this
Mhm.
was more of a UK chain, Wimpy, it did have it. So like that's just what we had. And I have a memory of having a Wimpy birthday, and it was much the same. It was, all that bullshit. Here's a cardboard crown,
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
yeah.
Good
The other
times.
thing, the other thing I remember, it's like it was like once you turned 21, you would go to like, we have restaurants like you guys, have you heard of like Husong and Larry's?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of like it's a chain, but they get like usually they'll get one of those. The whole goal is to embarrass you.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
So they'll get one of those like toilet paper covers, and they'll like put that around your neck and attach a balloon to it so
Okay.
everyone can see that it's your birthday and you're wearing like a toilet paper cover around your neck. And like
Yes.
people
Yes.
send you shots and like it's a whole thing. So
I mean, oh yeah, that's not because what I started thinking of was what isn't it like Deck's Last Resort or whatever, which is the
yeah,
chain where
yep,
they just insult the shit out of you. Yeah, okay, so
they do
things like
that. Yeah.
that. Okay,
They get paid to be an asshole.
yeah,
Which like
that's
now, I don't know if they can get, I don't, they clearly still get away with it because I still see people with like Dick's Last Resort t-shirts,
yeah,
but it's harassment.
it is, and like I think but I think it like because we talked about before about not loving pranks or roasting particularly, and I think it kind of falls under that category. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of
Yeah.
I have I don't want to go on and be fucking insulted in a restaurant particularly. Like I just don't. It's not interesting to me at all. But I guess some people love it. So
Hmm.
masochists are
It's
us.
true.
But yeah.
Masochists are us.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any other thoughts on birthdays or
I
anything
just think
else?
like, I have one question.
Yeah,
Do people take off their like from work for their birthdays in your country? Because that's a thing here.
I sometimes I would say I not
Yeah.
entirely uncommon, but like, for somebody like me who is like wants all my leave for actually going places, it's not been a thing. And like I have other friends who are like that too, but like definitely some people do. But like it also becomes there is like a certain element of on your birthday, if you're in work, that you have to bring buns or a cake or whatever in.
So here there's like a little bit of a push, I think, for paid birthday off like day.
Oh, it'd be nice.
So you get a lot of times now you get like a personal day to do whatever, and a lot of people use that for their birthday. And it's different in our country. The expectation is like the staff will provide a cake and
I
like
see.
bring flowers or like usually like when I was, running whatever, we would I would take the staff out for lunch to
Yeah.
celebrate and we would all
Yeah.
like go in on a gift for the person.
I, like my feeling on that is like just give your staff more bloody leave rather than just giving them
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the amount of leave that Americans get is ludicrous. I think I told you about the thing was you mentioned it too that like a tweet I saw that really made me laugh, which was like European PTOs like okay, I'm going camping for the summer. I'll get back to you in 2 months. Whereas American PTO is like, I'm getting major surgery this afternoon. I'll be back at my desk in 2 hours. Did
Yeah.
we talk about that on here? We did. Okay.
No, but you're
No, okay.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
It's ridiculous, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
No, it's like that's yeah. Like when Mike had COVID for 3 weeks, like he worked the whole time.
yeah,
He didn't take any sick time at all. And he
not
was
good.
like, what the fuck else am I gonna do? And I'm like, heal and not get pneumonia.
Yeah,
Guess
it's
who was
so true.
right?
Yeah.
Me.
Ah,
Yeah, but
life.
generally, like I'm gonna absolve people. No, I'm not. But like if you like celebrating your birthday, good for you.
Yeah.
Uh, and if you don't like celebrating your birthday, good for
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Just do what the fuck you want. I mean, like, and it's as always that we say in all these things, it's just like enjoy yourself. And it's like, I
Yeah.
think and it's one of those things where it's like it- try to take the I think there is pressure, regardless, and like all these things to like make a note of it at least,
Yeah.
And it's just do your best to ignore that and to kind of like make it meaningful for you. But like, I can say these things, but I can
Yeah.
also get mortified and depressed on my birthday, So
Yeah.
like, yeah, it
Yeah.
is what it is.
And I will say, like, I would be sad if you know, no one in my family cared or
Yes,
whatever. Like, that would be a real bummer.
I agree.
And,
And
but I think part of it is because, like, I am so grateful that I got to live another year because I have that different perspective.
yeah,
Like,
I
bring on the wrinkles, please. Like, I earned that shit.
I so I think basically what it comes down to is that if there are people in your life that you care about, just make them feel special. And it doesn't have to be at their birthday, just, I
Yeah.
think that's the best way to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously make a note of birthdays if you can, but just, give a shit about the people you love
All the time.
all the time.
Just not,
All the
yeah,
time.
like asshole, except for that one day a year.
Yeah. Yeah, treat them like pure shit and then like just shower them with love. And they'll just be like going insane. They're like, what's happening? Why is this going on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just blabbing, but like I'll read like Slate's Dear Prudence or like Reddit, like,
Yeah.
am I the asshole? And, like, my husband never posts like happy birthday to me on Facebook and social media, and it really bothers me. And I'm just like, who fucking cares?
I,
And like, or the ones that are like, my husband literally like gets me nothing. I have to buy my own present. And like that shit hurts my heart.
there's a happy medium there. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think
Yeah,
rightfully all too often the people who are like, why doesn't he do this? Like posting social media, people be like, shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah,
like, because they'll oftentimes it'll be like, we had a big party, all my friends came over, but he didn't post about it on Facebook. And it's like, shut the fuck up, which is good. But like, I definitely think if you're in a loving relationship with somebody, you should actually make a bit of an effort. Like,
agreed.
it's not hard to do. I really, this is really resonating with something else that I am enjoying at the minute, but I'm going to talk about that another time,
Okay.
I think.
Fine, Andy.
It's a wee teaser for you listeners at home. I mean, like I teased absolutely nothing there. I'm just like, come back next week. I'm going to talk more shit at you. Okay.
It's true. It's true.
All right,
Okay,
folks.
I have one. Wait,
Mhm.
wait, wait. No,
Oh, you
no,
don't?
I'm not
Sorry.
done. No, I have one last
Damn it.
question.
Uh-huh.
Would you like to live to celebrate your 100th birthday?
No. Probably
And why
not.
not?
Eh,
Yeah.
I already like lived in it. I've already had enough birthdays. It's probably just a symptom of my general feeling about life, but like I I think I really I probably should give that a serious answer. I possibly, I don't know. I think I would need my life to be a little bit different for me to really want that.
Mhm.
Um, because like yeah, like I feel like I am treating my body in such a way that the chances of me getting there are a lot higher as this thing goes on. So I really kind of need to start
This thing called
this
life.
fucking nightmare. Uh, drags on. So I need to start thinking about these things. So yeah, I my gut reaction is no, but I would like a different situation if that was to be the case.
Yeah, I get it. Like I think if I was close with family and I had like great grandkids and
Yeah,
like, we all lived around each other and like people would come and see me occasionally
yeah,
and call me on the phone or whatever technology is happening at the time. But like really like so few, I guess more people are living to be 100, but the amount of grief and loss that you have to go through
to get there, yeah, it's
to
true.
get there, like I just I don't know if I could handle it.
I understand that.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
So maybe not.
um, yeah,
Or I'll get a bunch of money and I'll like cryogenically freeze myself and come back.
yeah. Like Elon Musk will have figured out how to put our
Uh-huh.
brains in robot bodies, and then we'll like find out that we're on the hook to pay for that robot body for like the next 300 years, and
Yeah.
end up working
We
in
look
his
like,
fucking
yeah.
slave mines on Mars. Sorry.
It's funny because it's like possible.
Yeah, I know. It's very possible. But yeah, so yeah, one to look forward to, folks, our 100th birthday. Think about that. I think are we
I
done?
think that's all I had. That's all I
That
had.
was a
Sorry,
great
no,
way.
I had a, yeah,
I love it. It was a good ending.
thanks.
Okay. So and then we have to pivot, hard pivot here, Beth. Okay,
Ugh.
we have to pivot to what's been bringing you joy this week.
Um, Harper said something to me the other day. I had to like, what was I doing? I think the kids want to hang out. Like I have an 8-year-old and a
Hmm.
10-year-old, and they just realized that they can invite their parent to have lunch with them. And so they're both like Harper invited me.
I love it. That's amazing.
And then she gave me the wrong time.
Oh no.
So I like she eats lunch at like 10:40 and I was like in the shower and she told me noon. So I was prepared for that. And so like she was super dejected and sad. And so I felt really bad. So I was like, I'll come tomorrow at 10:40.
Mhm.
And like the look on her face, just like the excitement, and
Yep.
also like I'm getting to know the staff and other students on campus. And she was like, Mama, and I was like, what? And she's like, like you were talking to everybody. Everybody was like saying hi to you and talking to
Hmm.
you. And like she sees that and that makes me feel good that like I'm making it's like evidence that I'm making connections here.
Yep.
And I know like that's something you and I have talked about a lot where I'm just like I need community here and like
Yeah.
I need friends and like I need to feel like I'm part of something and like it's happening to the point where other people see it and are recognizing it.
I
Like my
mean,
kid is seeing it and recognizing it and that feels good.
I saw it when I was there, like you both in like
Thanks.
yeah, the car rally that we went to and the kids' party, like I could see that I could see it happening and it was great. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I love it. It's
there's
a good
joy
one.
there. Yeah. What about you? Haha.
Okay.
Your turn, Andy. Go.
Yeah, now I'm gonna talk about a dumb video game. Fuck. So
Yay!
I've been really so
I found
like
a job for you, by the way,
okay.
because I was
Okay.
like,
So we talk
yeah,
about
it's
so we talk about that first?
well, it's like it's for one of the film studios. It's for Netflix actually,
Okay.
and they're rolling out a gaming component to Netflix,
Okay. Yes. I'm
but you
aware of
have to
this.
like be a gamer and like the job is basically like rolling this thing out and like knowing that like having like a technical background.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
All right. Okay.
anyways, yeah,
Send
pretty
me
cool.
that through.
Okay.
Um,
And you'd make like, I don't know, like 270,000 US a
Sweet.
year.
Okay,
I
perfect. Okay,
know.
this is all
Uh-huh.
coming together. Okay, this all
Okay.
fits in with my other plan.
Good.
Okay. So, um, the game I'm playing, it's an older game, and I've just recently got back into it, and it's called Sifu. It's essentially there have been a lot of sort of like 3D, fairly kind of open world sort of fighting game type things that like, but all of them don't quite work or feel clunky. It is just such a kind of I've never felt more like Bruce Lee in any video game ever. Like it's just it feels so fluid and natural, and the level of control it gives you, like it is fucking hard. Like all too often, you'll just be getting like smashed around the head repeatedly, and you fall over dead. But it's one of those games, and it's the sort of game that I really love, where when you master it, you feel like an absolute, legitimate martial arts badass. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. It really leans into the influences. There is a corridor style sequence that's like out of Old Boy and things like that. That's kind of shot
Whoa.
that way. Yeah, it's also got. I don't know if you've seen the raid. It's got a lot of sections that are close to the raid. It's just the in terms of the art direction, the style. Like there's one of the sequences that's set in a nightclub, and it used like the flashing neon lights and all sorts of things. It's just absolutely stupendous. And if you like video games, I cannot recommend it enough. Some of the people who are I know listen to the podcast, I am going to make you play this game soon, so be
Watch
warned.
out.
And he's coming and he's making you play a video game. So yeah, Seafood, fantastic. I love it.
Very good.
Making me very happy recently. So it's just the kind of thing that really draws my focus in, and yeah, it really engages me.
I'm so happy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's been bringing me joy this week. So yeah, so I feel like
You
that's a
talk with
good.
your hands when
I
you're really
know,
excited.
I do, I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
Um, It's I'm an animated person sometimes, begrudgingly. All right. So it's time to wrap up our episode, and in which case we need. No, no, wait, whoa.
Oh, yes. Find us at bendypodcast.com. I have a favor to ask for our
Yeah,
our listeners. If you like us and this is something that you're enjoying, maybe just mention to your friends that
yeah.
there's this awesome podcast called Bendy and that they should give it a listen because we would love to.
Spread, get out there a wee bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll
yeah.
be awesome. We'd
Spread the
really
word.
appreciate it.
Help
Thank
spread.
you.
Yep, that would be
And
wonderful.
I think we have enough of a back catalog of stuff that if there's particular subjects you think they'd be interested in, maybe like point them to specific episodes and
That's a
things like
great
that,
idea. Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. So that's
It's
great.
specifically the one where Andy talks about having to take a giant shit on the hiking
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
trail.
It's a
That
highlight.
also brought me joy when I was editing that clip and I'm like dying laughing.
But
Uh,
my friend recently was like, "Do you edit out stuff that's embarrassing to you?" And I'm like, "Not at all. I like lean into it." I told a story about me nearly shitting myself on a hike, and she's like, "Did you?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna send you the video." So yeah, so yeah,
okay.
so yeah, so
People can't miss out on this.
no, they can't miss. They can't miss. All right, folks. In that case, as always, we'd like to remind you to
Stay
stay
bendy.
Bendy. Nice. That was a real
It
endurance one
did.
that
It
time.
was good. It does. Zoom did the thing again where it's like playing music.
Yes. I
Set up
love you, Sim.
professional audio. Shut
Amazing.
up, Zoom. All right. We love you
Right.
guys.
I love you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.